Shanti Om. I don't remember the rest of the melody, but that's
Om Shanti Om.
You hear it about 100 times, so I got that part down for sure. Welcome back to another episode of Showgays, a cinemusical podcast where we will be talking about our first ever true Bollywood film,
Legit
Om
Bollywood.
Shanti Om. We're so excited to talk about this today. As always, I'm Adam. I'm your main host in the main seat.
Okay.
Kind of like how Whoopi is like the main host of The View. Next to me, I have Chuckle Fuck number one. This is RJ. Say hi, RJ.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. And Molly, tuning in all the way from San Diego, where Pride has just occurred and is now over. Welcome.
The official end of Pride. Hello, welcome to my podcast that I do as the main host.
Thank you so much for having us, Molly.
How's everybody doing? How are we all?
It's good. We had Adam and I have been traveling and then also hosting. So we went to New York, saw some shows, went to Des Moines to see Miranda, and then came home and then had our
friend of the pod, Miranda. You can listen to her Cinderella episode.
Season one.
Mm-hmm.
And then came back, and then our friend Robbie from Florida visited us, and we just dropped him off at the airport. So it's been a busy whirlwind since Doris Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Molly,
how about you?
You doing good?
Yeah, I'm getting through it. There's been a lot of stuff in my personal life, but I don't want to talk about it on the podcast. And
for sure.
I'm tired, and I'm happy to be doing something else with my time right now of just recording a fun podcast.
And we really dedicated a lot of time to this movie, so perfect.
We put in the work this time in terms of hours spent watching the movie.
Now, did you do one sitting or did you break it up?
I did do one sitting. I thought I wasn't going to be able to get through it, but
we did
I'll give
three
this to the
separate
movie.
sittings.
There is a lot that happens in it.
It is,
There's a ton, and there is not really a slow part of the movie.
No,
Right.
it keeps you going. Yeah.
I thought it would be a harder. I've had shorter movies that have been harder to get through for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, we watched the last movie.
Yeah. Well, this week we are recapping Om Shanti Om, as I already talked about. Molly, you have to summarize in a minute or less the plot of 2007's
and I didn't write it. Yep.
Bollywood film Om Shanti Om, and your time does start now.
Okay, so we have Om, who is a background actor in modern day Mumbai. He is in love with Shanti, who is a superstar. He goes to her billboard every day and talks to her there. He eventually, he goes to a red carpet premiere where he's able to see her a little bit more up close, and then he gets a job as a background actor in one of her films. She almost dies in a film accident when they're burning haystacks and the director won't call cut. So Om goes in to save her. She's charmed by him. He pretends for a little while to be a up-and-coming film star from the southern part of India, but eventually gives up on that ruse, and they kind of start a relationship. But twist, Shanti is actually secretly married to Mukesh, the producer of the film that they're working on. Om overhears Mukesh and Shanti having a fight because Mukesh won't reveal their marriage, and she is now pregnant. And so Mukesh initially pretends that he's going to publicly declare her his wife and everything, but unfortunately Mukesh also has a plan to receive a film studio as a dowry by marrying another woman, and so he burns Shanti on the set of the most expensive film ever to be made, Om Shanti Om. Om sees her being burned, tries to save her, but is thwarted. They both... Well, we don't know what happens to Shanti. Om dies, and in the hospital, his soul... We're at the beginning of Act 2, everyone. His soul is transferred into the body of the newly born son of existing star, something Kapoor, and he becomes Om Kapoor. We flash forward 30 years in the future. Om Kapoor is now an adult and looks the exact same as our original Om. He is a big superstar because his dad was a very famous actor. He's kind of a dick. And then he, through a series of flashbacks by interacting with the studio and seeing fire, things that trigger his memories from his past life, is able to remember what happened with Shanti. He hires an actress named Sandy, who looks exactly like Shanti, in order to torment Mukesh, who is trying to now court our new Om Kapoor onto his film. And Om stages a series of events to make Mukesh believe that he's being haunted by Shanti, hoping that Mukesh will then confess to the murder. The plan seems to go awry, but suddenly a ghost appears of the real Shanti, convincing Mukesh to confess to his crimes and telling them where her body is buried. And Mukesh is then crushed by a chandelier unleashed by Shanti. Om and Shanti have a little moment of looking at each other, and we go to credits.
Wow, amazing.
Very good.
Molly, great job.
Well over a minute.
But in my defense, one, I was woefully unprepared, and two, this is a 3-hour movie. So
even if you had written something, there's no way it could have been a minute.
Yeah.
No. Great job. So I'll do my little thing and then we'll just go straight into talking about the film, because I'm so eager to find out what Molly thought about this, because we started this Zoom call and immediately started recording. So we haven't even been like, oh my God,
banter.
What fun. We didn't even do that. Okay. Om Shanti Om, directed by.
Also no relationship. That's my word. No one has a relationship.
Oh, no one has a relationship. Guys, we didn't know. We hadn't heard.
How did we find this? How did we pick this one of all the
popular Bollywood musicals?
Yes, we were like the most famous ones.
Yeah. Om Shanti Om, directed by Farah Khan, screenplay by Farah Khan and Mustaq Sheikh. Ooh, also, real quick, it's going to be vibes based, the pronunciation today, okay?
We're not going to.
I looked up the main characters and their names, but like...
Look, I'm going to say thank you to this movie for having basically 2 names in it that are names that I can say, and they're also in the title of the film, because those are the only ones that I'm going to be confident in are Om and Shanti.
Dialogue is by Mayur Puri, something I've never seen before, a separate dialogue credit.
Yeah.
Story is by Farah Khan, produced by Gauri Khan. Gauri Khan is the wife of Shah Rukh Khan, who plays the main character. Shah Rukh Khan plays...
that's why she had like a gorgeous moment coming out at the credits.
Shah Rukh Khan is a huge Bollywood star. He plays Om in the film. Deepika Padukone plays Shanti. This is her first credits. She is
amazing. Wow.
One of the most attractive people I've literally ever had the pleasure to grace my eyes upon.
Truly.
Shreyas Talpade is Papu, which is Om's like best friend. Kiran Kerr is Bella, who is Om's mom. And she also later in life was like a congressperson or a member of parliament, I should say, in India.
Wow.
And then Arjun Rampal plays Mukesh, but later in the film is called Mike, because he kind of like moves to Hollywood. And
he had gone to Hollywood, yes.
Yeah. Cinematography is by V. Manikandan. It is edited by Shirish Kunder. The songs are by Vishal and Shekhar, and the score is by Sandeep Chauta. Guys, I think I'm doing pretty well.
Pretty good,
I'm kind of hitting it.
Based on no knowledge, it feels
based
right.
on nothing.
Yeah, it just feels right on the tongue.
I feel like after listening to like the sounds of Hindi for like 3 hours, I'm like, oh yeah. These are the vowels.
Yeah.
Production company is Red Chillies Entertainment. It is distributed by Eros International. It was released on November 9th, 2007 in India. Its running time is 171 minutes. The language is Hindi, but we obviously watched it with subtitles, which you can find on Netflix, guys. It's right there. It's in your subscription.
The show does do a lot of English, like especially in the second half of the movie when they've become more Hollywood type stars. So there's a lot more
English,
like English
definitely spattered in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a really quick story. I was watching Karate Kid this morning with my nephews and my younger nephew Ethan. No, the Jaden Smith one.
The Jaden Smith.
So there's a part where there's a coach who talks to his student in Chinese, and then I commented on what the coach said, and Ethan goes, "How did you know what he said?" Because he doesn't know what subtitles are. He doesn't read yet.
Oh,
he thought I just understood Mandarin.
You knew Mandarin. I'm like,
you should have been like, I know Mandarin. That should have been your response. Its budget was 40 crore rupees. So a crore is 10 million of a unit. So like a dozen is the name for a 12. So 10 million. So 10 million rupees. So is that 4 billion?
4 billion. But I don't know what the inflation is of rupee, like how many.
Well, I can tell you right.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, $1 is 0.0012 rupees.
Okay, so a rupee is like a tenth of a dollar.
A rupee is a cent.
A rupee is a cent. Okay, so if it's 4 billion, oh my God, we're doing math.
Oh my God,
this is
guys,
not
math
what we're
is
made
not.
for.
This is
4 billion.
This is not a cinematical podcast.
It's not a
Okay?
cinematical
It's a musical.
40 million, I think.
Yeah,
That sounds
So you just
right.
take-
That feels right.
Yeah.
I wish there was a machine that we could
If only we could consult something other than just our brains to
I've
figure
got
this
another
out.
one. The box office was 152 crore rupees. So
Do you know
100
what? It's great. We'll
They
simplify
did it. They
it.
did
It was
$15.2
$40.
billion.
It was $40
They made
to make
$40,
it, and they made $152.
and they made it
and
$150.
And that I know.
That's amazing.
It was the highest grossing Indian film of all time when it was released. I think it has been surpassed by this point in 2025.
but at the time it was. Yeah.
At the time it
That's
was.
amazing.
Yeah. And it was like the highest selling Indian album of all time, the soundtrack.
Do you want to know something? On the next sentence of Wikipedia, it tells you what it is in.
Does it? What is it?
The budget at least is US 9.67 million.
Wow, that's so small.
Completely wrong from what we said. And it made, and now I'm looking in the next paragraph, it grossed 36.76 million. That's so weird. People
almost
don't
like
usually do
yeah.
0.76. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds, listen, 9 million for a movie, I feel like that's nothing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like these movies, especially a 3-hour film that had like hundreds of people, dozens of sets.
Effects, many dance numbers. It stars the most famous guy in all of Bollywood. Like I've never even seen Bollywood, and I recognize this guy because I was like, yeah, that guy who's in every Bollywood movie.
And like every famous Bollywood star got like a
cameo.
Oh,
yes,
So
and the cameo song. We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so there are 66 cameos in this film, 39 alone in the Diwangi Diwangi song, which is truly insane. And I will say, having not known any, like again, never seen a single Bollywood film in my life. It was enjoyable it was enjoyable to the point that I was like, I don't know who these people are, but I know that if I was watching this in like Mumbai, people would be screaming at the screen.
Oh, the way it's so amazing, the way that the language of film tells you this person is a person I'm supposed to know.
Yeah.
Like
And the way
immediately I knew. I was like, oh yeah, okay, these are returning people that we should know here. Yeah.
that whole song is just famous people turning around and revealing themselves to the screen, and it's so enjoyable.
If any of our listeners are Bollywood fans and know this, I was assuming a lot of the women that he danced with were women that he had been in films with.
Stars.
The vibes were very like, remember when they were a couple? That was a good time, right? So like, please tell me if I'm right about that.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Tick Tick Boom scene when he imagines all the musical stars, Broadway stars
when they do the Sunday in the Park sequence.
Yeah.
For Broadway heads, as we're called. So the director, whose name is Farah Khan. Okay, so she had worked as a choreographer for a musical in London called Bombay Dreams, which was like produced by Andrew Lloyd Webber. It ran for about 2 years on the West End. It never transitioned to Broadway, but she said that she felt that the piece had a really outdated view of current Indian movie making. And so she came.
So it was like a Bollywood themed story of some kind. Okay.
Yeah. So she came up with this like concept basically of this piece. This is her second movie she ever directed, which is insane because I can't imagine this is like an easy thing as like a director. Like this is the most insane.
So much to wrangle.
There's so much wrangling happening in this film. Yeah. She said later that she felt that the first part of the movie is set in the 70s. She said it was the most influential time she felt in Bollywood filmmaking. And she references things that were popular in Indian culture at the time. So like badminton was played in a scene, which was like huge at the time. But also she was referencing certain cinematic tropes. So like the overbearing mom who has these very cliche sentences. Like that's the entire Om's mom character.
That is such a campy scene when he talks to his mom.
It's so funny. The comedy in this works so well, guys. It translates perfectly.
Yeah.
It does.
She did say she felt that the 80s were the worst films ever made in India, so that's why she didn't say it then. And then apparently, the guy who said did the dialogues, Mayur Puri, he helped write the back half of the film, so the modern day, the 2007 section. And he said it was hard to blend the genres easily. This is what is called a masala film. So masala in Indian is technically the term for the blend of spices, like tikka masala.
Right.
But in this term, they're meaning it as like a blend of multiple genres. It's the most popular type of Indian film, and it usually is also a musical.
Yeah, that makes sense because I wanted to comment on how many tones there were in the film, but it didn't feel incongruous either. Like it felt like I could tell it was intentional that there were a lot of different tones.
Yeah, totally. And it became popular like in the 70s and kind of just has been the dominant Indian movie genre since then. And then the two motifs that she has running through this film are two quotes. When you want something badly, the whole universe conspires to give it to you. And then the other one is, in the end, everything will be okay. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. And she said that those are her personal kind of like mantras.
Yeah.
So that's why she included them in the film.
I don't agree with those mantras, but it was clear to me that it was the thesis of the film.
The thesis of the movie. Not my personal mantra, but
I will say I did like the in the end everything will be okay, and if it's okay it's not. If it's not okay, it's not the end. I did like that one.
More on board with.
Yeah, I liked it especially because it was like a rebirth story. Like I was like, oh yeah, it's not the end. He's gonna keep going. And then the scene where So the scene where Shanti gets trapped in the hay and he rescues her is a reference to something that actually happened on set of the film Mother India in 1957. And the two actors, he actually rescued her on set, and then they fell in love and got married.
Oh my God.
Which is like, I want to watch that. Like, yes, I want to, sure, Mother India, fine. But like, I want to watch the story of that specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, we basically just did, but.
Yeah.
At the film
I'm sure it
fair,
played out exactly as the rest of this film plays out.
Oh, absolutely.
No difference. At the Film Fair Awards in 2008, which is like the Academy Awards for India, this was nominated for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 awards, and it won 2 of those. So it was nominated for Best Special Effects, Best Playback Singer for two different nominations, Best Lyricist for 2 different songs, Best Music Director, Best Supporting Actor, Best Female Debut, and Best Actress for Miss Deepika, Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Film. And then Deepika won Best Female Debut, and Best Special Effects also won.
Wow. I think I read too that the film, the part of the movie that we watched where they're at the Film Fair Awards and they're talking about whether Om Kapoor will win for Best Actor, that they filmed those, the things where they're like on the red carpet asking them who's going to win, that they filmed it at the actual Film Fair Awards that year that they were producing the movie. And so then they got a bunch of famous people to be in that little section of it.
That was another portion that I was like, these are clearly like gags.
This is like this is such like a love letter to Bollywood as well. Like it's so, there's so much comedy in this that like, even though obviously I don't know everything that it's referencing, like you can tell there's such a keen eye for what it's sending up and like lovingly like calling back to, that I was like, I don't even know the reference, and I'm like, I have a goofy grin on my face because I was like, this is so charming. Okay, that's all I had for the background. So let's talk about Om Shanti Om. What'd you think of Miss Om Shanti Om?
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed my time. I think we already said
my long time.
The time. I mean, the thing is, the movie is long, but if we sat down and just watched it in one sitting, I think it would have kept my attention pretty well. Like the pace is so fast, but not in a way where it's like, oh wait, hold on, what just happened? Like, yes, some scenes that kind of like, ooh, that gives that is important. Everything feels like it's an important scene that will get you to like the story. I thought the musical numbers were so great. The thing that the first half of the movie where it takes place in the 70s, I felt like those are my favorite musical numbers in the movie, just because they were so ornate and a little bit more cinematic, because they were kind of going in between the lines of like, we're filming a Bollywood movie, so we're like presenting almost like very White Christmas, like when they're like doing the play, but then there were still also a good mix of like, oh yeah, he's like imagining this, or like they're imagining these scenes play out. So I really liked it, and it was a feast for the eyes, and it really kept me hooked the entire time.
Molly?
I also really enjoyed it. I did watch it in one sitting, and it did keep my attention the whole time. I mean, there's a lot of dance numbers and everything in it, so it's not like you're ever just in a slog of a scene. There was so much plot. There was so much going on. And I think it was a nice like amount of subtitle reading. I think that could be the thing sometimes with watching foreign films is like that. Some shows are so dialogue dense that it takes so much concentration to keep up with the subtitles that it can be a little bit tiring. Like I tried to watch Morgan it's like a Danish political. It's like Danish West Wing, and it's a good show. And I was like,
you're just reading basically.
It was like every night I'd be like, I'm too tired to like get into like that level of reading, right? And so I think it was like very accessible to watch and enjoy as an English speaker, because there was enough going on that I could understand without the language, that the language just kind of sprinkled in for me to try to read the subtitles, but that wasn't like as essential to the viewing experience.
Well, and all the plot things are like given huge beats. So like if you were trying to just follow the plot itself and you're worried like you're going to miss something, it would be very hard to miss what's going on.
This is
no. The scene where she reveals that they're already married and pregnant basically has the like dun 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 right after,
and
like,
the slow motion,
slow motion zoom.
The slow motion zooms. It's great. Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. I was watching it and I was like, I'm curious if Molly's gonna. Well, first of all, I know there was some disco in it, so I was really worried.
Not only was it set in the 70s, but then one of the big numbers of the modern day is called like Darke Disco. And I was like, wow. But you know what? It was a bop, and I loved it.
It was
a bop. He looked great. We had no idea he had that body.
He got it for this movie.
Really?
Because they were doing this bit.
It reminded me of like when Camille Nanjiani was like, I'm gonna be in Eternals. He's like,
he does the bit. He does this in Eternals. He's doing like this. He's like an actor. He's like a Bollywood actor. Yeah. I basically was like, I just assumed that it was just going to be like a romance. Like I just figured it was going to be like straight down the middle. Yeah. I did not expect Shah Rukh Khan to be like, to find him as funny as I found him. Yeah. And the comedy is pretty broad in this. Like, I'm not going to say it's not, but like it was he's so funny. There are like so many little bits that he does throughout this movie that I was like completely charmed by. And like even when he end up in the second half of the film, he becomes
like an asshole.
He's like arrogant or whatever. Yeah. Like he's still so funny in all of it. Like
I loved What the Fish, dude.
Fish is so dumb, but it's so funny.
I love it.
Fish.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like all of his like when he would use English, I just had such a good time watching this, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I've just not ever watched a Bollywood film just because whatever.
Yeah. I will say that I accidentally spoiled myself. I do this sometimes where I have to know something on Wikipedia and then I read something in it. So I did know that they were going to die in a fire. Well, and I'll tell you also why I looked it up, which is that there's a whole thing about his name that I was like, I don't understand what's happening with his name. So I want to talk about that. So I was trying to find that, but I saw that they were going to die in a fire, and I was like, oh, really? And then we got so far into the movie, and I was like, they still haven't gotten to the part that's like the first sentence on Wikipedia about what this movie is about.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was crazy. And there was also, before we talk about the name, there's so much meta commentary in this movie, almost too much. I have gone on record before of saying I do hate when in a movie or a book or whatever, someone's working on the thing that has the same title as the thing that you're watching. So like the movie they're trying to produce is called Om Shanti Om, and we're watching Om Shanti Om, and I was like, that's too many things. Like I like the plot being similar, but I just want it to be called something different.
Shanti Om Shanti.
Yeah, something like that. But like it's very fun the way that they have so many previews and reference it. Like he says like I die twice in this one, and like I'm playing twins, but like he ends up playing like, you know, different versions of the same guy. Like I feel like they did a lot of stuff with that. Okay, here's the name thing that I want to talk about for a second. So when the original Om is named Om Prakash Makhija, and there's a whole scene where he talks to his best friend about the fact that last name, the Makhija, is not a name that's ever going to get him famous, and he should just be Om Prakash. And then he goes to talk to his mother, and that's where we have the very campy scene where she's all like hurt that he wants to drop.
Oh, you're gonna give up our name, blah 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 blah.
It's like completely not clear to me. So I was trying to find if there was some sort of commentary that could explain this. I was like, does that have like an ethnic significance? Is it like, does it mean like stinky sock or something that like no one would like? It's just his like full name is too long. Like what does it mean? They keep talking about last names that would like get you to be a star and ones that wouldn't. And I felt this is the only time where I was like, I really feel like I'm missing important cultural information about what it would mean. Did you guys find anything about the meaning of the name?
I mean, I just equated it to like when like Hollywood stars like back in the day would like change their, you know, like their names into more of like a stage name.
I didn't look up what his name originally meant. I just saw that like what I assumed was that it was a way for them to like reference popular 1970s actors and just like use those names as reference to be like, you'll never be as famous.
You'll
as
never
blah,
be
blah,
a
blah, blah,
Travolta. Like, it's got to be a Travolta or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure his name, based on the tenor of the film and especially the 70s sequence, which is the first half, it's so comedic. I'm sure it's just like stinky butt or whatever. Like something really goofy is like what it like translates to is my guess. I don't know though for sure.
Yeah. Well, if anyone knows, let us know.
Also, Molly, I would not consider that a spoiler because technically that is the log line of the Netflix. When you go in to click on the film, if you read the line on Netflix,
it's like after being reincarnated from a fire.
From a deadly fire.
Only halfway through that happens. It's
well, like you get to the first fire.
We thought it was that he saves her.
And so I was like, oh, he's done for. And then he survives. And I was like, what's going on?
So I was like, where's the real fire?
Yeah. It was almost like a fake out, which I thought was actually really funny.
Yeah. But again, it's the film, the meta thing. And it's like, you know, foreshadowing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think of the movie?
I already said I thought it was good. I had a good time. I think like the only, I mean, not my only, but like pacing wise, I would say like the songs are too long, but I think that's like Bollywood movies generally have like really long song sequences. And I will say, when I say songs were long, I am for sure not talking about what was it called? Diwangi, which is the like cameo section, because it was like so everybody got like a turnaround 4 count and then they got an 8 count of choreo. It was great. I was like, this is amazing. Everybody had different choreo.
It was probably like 20 minutes long, but yes, it was fun still.
So long.
Put your hands up and say, Om Shanti Om. All boys, come on, make some noise and say, Om Shanti Om.
Shout out to Priyanka Chopra. I recognized her. She was in that like tight little silver dress, and I was like, wait, that's Mrs. Jonas.
The thing I did look up, Molly, that was cultural that I was like, there's definitely something that I'm not. They talk about a pinch of vermilion.
Oh, yes.
So
it's like the line in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's referring to sindoor, which is a spice or like a spice, I think technically, but it's like red and you add it to your forehead and your hairline when you're married to signify like I'm a married woman. Apparently like modern kind of like Indian feminist critique of the film is like, that's really outdated because it's like espousing a patriarchal view of like, I'm possessed by my husband. But that was like what it kept referring to because it comes up both in the first part of the film and the back half. So I was like, okay, what are they talking about? So that was what that was referring to. But what else? What did you think of the performances, RJ?
The performance. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that Shah Rukh Khan does a really good job of kind of leading. He embodied the tone of the movie where it's like the dramatic, you are believing that this is life and death. This is like high stakes, even when it is like the goofy part in the first movie. And then even also in the second part when it's like, oh, I believe that he is realizing that he is reincarnated into like this new person and that he has to continue kind of like what to do. And he really plays the like skeezy asshole character so well that I like enjoyed the modern portion. I don't know if I liked it more than the first part, but like it was just enjoyable to kind of like watch him be of the different worlds.
This is a good question. What's your favorite half? The 70s or the modern?
It's tough because the modern, obviously they were just doing it to like, let's make it look like what it is now. In our context now, it looks like such a perfect time capsule of 2006, 2007.
The fashion guy.
The fashion,
oh my God.
the fact that he's running around in these like thick jeans with the like ornate back pockets. I was like, you're being thrown around in the ugliest jeans.
Yeah.
I love it.
The
thin
sunglasses
scarves.
that are like huge, but they're not, it's not like the frames are thick. It's just like the lenses themselves like cover half
There's
your
like
face.
a top that Sandy wears in one of the montages that's like a halter that then is like scoops down in the back in this way that I was like,
Yes.
I forgot that was a top, but it was everywhere in 2007.
Yes. So like, I think in a like current perspective of me, like I love the second half because it was such a fun little capsule of like, yep, this was me in high school fashion, basically coming to life.
Molly, 70s or 2007? 77 or 2007?
Yeah, I agree. It's a hard pick because the 70s is so like lush. All of the work that they do.
The
to, like,
color is
fully bring that-
amazing.
They're really like fully bringing it to life. But modern day has that Dark Age Disco song is probably my favorite song in it. I mean, they're saying it's a disco, but I feel like it's more just a pop song. And I loved the like sequences in it. I was thinking about the J-Lo movie when they did that.
Oh my
when they were in the
God.
like hard hats and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also the modern part had ghosts, and I do love a ghost story. So
I know.
I can't
And that gags me. It was like at the end where Adam was like, I think the ghost is actually real. I think she's actually there. Because we didn't,
we were like, is she taking over her body? Was she her the whole time? And then Sandy
comes out
comes
and was
in
like,
separately, and you're like, oh, she's a ghost.
I felt like it had been pretty telegraphed that it was a ghost, so I knew it was a ghost, but it is still a gag when Sandy comes in.
Yeah. I can't believe we all agree that we like the 2007 version more. Especially, I'm surprised RJ liked it more.
I know.
I was for sure like, oh, RJ loves the 77.
But it was cool to see like Mumbai, India in the 70s and like what is like Western 70s fashion and like cultural and like how it translates. Like obviously the colors and some of the fashions are there. The hair for sure. Like the thick mops that everyone had.
Yes, and it's like parodying the 70s to some extent.
Yes.
So everything's just a little over exaggerated. Like they have the like famous like huge collars from the 70s on their shirts, but they're like they're like 5 inches long, like instead of like 4 or whatever. It's really funny. Yeah. When he's in the one I caught was like the scene where she reveals she's pregnant to
where he's like in the grate, like he's listening from like
to Mukesh. Yeah. They're in this like office room or whatever. And the floor and walls are painted the yellow, orange, brown, kind of like when you stereotypically think of what the 70s looked like, it looks like that like color palette of like dirt to sun energy. And I gagged that they like referenced that specifically because it's just like too on the nose for it to have actually been like what it would have looked like. It was too good. Do we have any thoughts about?
What did you think of her?
What did I think of Miss Deepika? Shanti? Yes. I really liked her. I mean, truly, she came on screen and I was like, oh wow. And apparently Farah Khan was like, she walked in, she was like, well, you're hired. I don't. And she like didn't even. So there was like some questioning as to if she was dubbed for the vocals. And Farah Khan was like, I'm not even going to bother answering that question. And then like in 2014, some actress was like, yeah, I did the vocals for Om Shanti Om. So apparently she didn't sing it, but.
That's interesting because I believe in India they have, you reference like the backing act, what's it called? The nominations that they got for the vocalists.
Playback
singer. So I read an article when I was in grad school about the fact that in Bollywood, playback singers are really famous. So like they're very open about dubbing. And not only that, but like the playback singers are like considered important parts of the film and get awards and are like, people go see films because they're like, oh, so-and-so sang that role.
Singing, yeah.
So I think it's funny that then like that wasn't just an open part of the film because I thought that was part of the culture of how they make movies there, but maybe I'm missing some nuances to it.
Yeah. But I thought she was I thought she was good. I mean, I definitely think, unfortunately, she is kind of given short shrift in the second half. Like, Sandy kind of doesn't really get much to do, even though I think she plays it very well.
Yeah, it's fun to see her like kind of be clumsy and stuff.
Yeah, like because Shanti in the 70s is like the epitome of like grace and elegance.
Yeah.
So like Sandy in 2007 is a little bit of like a mess, which is like kind of charming. But yeah, I mean, like I fully believe that there is like a 20-year age difference between the two actors, which like, again, I feel like I keep bringing this up in things we're watching because I sound puritanical. I swear to God, I'm not. But it's more interesting because in an interview, Deepika was like, she was like, I grew up watching his films, so I'm so excited to like appear beside him. And then I was cast in this, which is like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. I mean,
I thought she was great.
Yeah, I can't believe it's her first movie, I think is the thing. Like, yeah, obviously.
She was a model before this.
Oh, okay. So she had some experience, at least with like having that presence and stuff like that. So obviously like Shah Rukh Khan is like, he's carrying the film, like it's his movie and the female lead has less to do. Like, what else is new? But I feel like I wasn't watching it thinking like, this is clearly a newbie acting alongside a veteran actor either.
Yeah.
It felt like she was very comfortable like taking up space in the scene.
Yeah.
I was surprised at the end when it said introducing Deepika Padukone, because I was like, oh, I mean, obviously she was young. So I was like, oh, this is maybe her first like big role. But I was like shocked that it was her first role, period. Like, that was surprising to me. I really liked my favorite performance, I think, in this whole thing is probably from an actress named Bindu. She plays in the second half of the film. She plays the
mom of the real actress that is going to be in
Om Shanti Om film, Dolly. She plays her mother.
Yeah.
It is so pitch perfect, annoying mom, like funny, goofy
stage
comedy.
mom that's just in the way all the time.
There's an actress in the Philippines that I've seen that I've watched and stuff. Her,
just like a classic
Eugene
character.
Velasquez.
Eugene Dominguez.
Yeah. And it's the same kind of, I'm trying to think of like, who is an equivalent in like America of that kind of like, just goes for the bit.
Yeah.
Kathy and Jimmy.
Oh,
Sure,
Kathy and Jimmy,
yes,
100%. It's just so funny every time. I really enjoyed her performance. I liked the mom as well.
Yeah.
I found her to be a little too much, but I'm not at all surprised that Adam found it to be perfect.
I have a type.
this is Adam's. Yeah. Adam's type.
Bread and butter. And I actually really liked the guy that played.
The villain?
Yes.
Mike.
I mean, firstly, he's hot, but secondly,
Yes.
So hot.
so hateable. So perfectly
Yes.
hateable. I have started to really appreciate more and more an actor who can make me enjoy hating them on screen, because it's not something that you encounter all that often, and he really has that.
So apparently Shah Rukh Khan had to like help convince him, because he originally got the script and was like, oh, I don't think I'd be a convincing villain. And so he was like, no, I think you can do it, And I was like, he was so good. I was like, no, you were a piece of shit in this. It was great. And if you do look up, that man is still hot today. So
I'm sure.
I did look up photos. And I was like,
I did love
damn.
the camp of the fact that, so because Om is reincarnated, it's 30 years in the future for everybody else. And so we have multiple characters who've been aged up, but they literally just gave them a salt and pepper wig, and there's no other effort.
Literally just like,
let's change their faces.
Let's paint some gray on their eyebrows, and that should be good.
And
It's
that's 30 years,
so funny. Especially with Papu, his friend.
Yeah.
Like because he has like a full mop of hair in the 70s,
Yes.
and then it's just like they salt and peppered it. It's so funny. I wanted to play a couple songs. So first, I'm going to play Doom Tana, which is the song that Shanti. She basically has like a montage in the first part of the film where
like her different films
that she's been in, and they actually in the film they rotoscoped performances from old Bollywood films in with her, so it looks like she's performing with those actors from those movies. Like it's clear when you watch it that that's what they're doing, but like it was very satisfying. And then I did find like what the movies are pulling, like in case it is available to find online if you were like, I wonder what that's from, if you wanted to like go on a deep dive. But this is Doom Tana.
नैनों से नैन मिलाऊं सजना कैसे मैं ऐसे ना घबराऊं सजना सजना कैसे आए ना ऐसे मोहे लाज सजना छूना ना देखो मोहे आज सजना.
And then in 2014, in 2014 at the Miss America pageant, the winner of Miss America, who is Indian American, she did a dance to this song at the pageant, and she's from New York. I have to Nina Miss America, Nina Davaluri. She did a performance to this number at the Miss America pageant and then won. And I was like, that could have only happened in 2014. Let me tell you that right now. It's not happening today.
Now?
Couldn't happen in this America, honey.
DEI. I should show you guys.
It's too DEI.
It's too we're at the end of the world is what the problem is.
I need to send you this. It's like a groundling skit that somebody did. She's like a black female comedian, and she's a flight attendant on a plane that's scared of DEI, and she's like, "What if DEI did crash those planes?" She's like, I'm not racist. I'm just superstitious. And then it's like her going around the plane and like learning people are diverse, and then getting more and more scared. And like lifting a suitcase. She's like, what's in this? She goes, oh, hair and makeup? You're all part of a traveling drag brunch? Oh no.
That was Dumtana. I the 70s portion with all the references. I was like, I really enjoyed that. And two, I do feel like the other thing too that I was really impressed with was like, it's not the tone, the kind of like energy around the film changes in the second half, meaning like the 70s stuff feels like the 70s. It feels like comedy from the 70s. It feels like an old school type of like vintage retro, whatever. Whereas like the 2007 stuff feels like they're doing like there's more English and there's more stuff like that. I liked that it wasn't like it was like the same film. We're just moving through time. Like
that the world is different. Like the world that they lived in were different.
Yeah.
Both times.
Okay. Can we talk about my favorite part of the entire film, which was the play within a play, aka the song that reveals all the corruption that he performs to the villain of the
full
film.
masquerade ball at the end.
The full masquerade ball, the full
he's
Hamlet.
explaining the plot. They're singing the plot of the movie.
This I have to know too, that the excuse they have to keep him around is that they say it's the music debut for the movie, and I need to know if they're doing full scale productions to introduce the music of movies in Bollywood, because that slays.
I love everything. I love
like
how much
a PR publicity event and here's the song debuting in this movie.
I know this is like kind of not what we're talking about, but like there is so much of this that's like a peek behind the curtain of Bollywood, right? Allegedly. But there's still so much of it that's like none of this happens the way it happens. Like Molly's favorite song, which is what was it called? Something disco?
I keep saying dark gay disco because that sounds like what they're saying. It means like disco of despair. So he's supposed to be sad.
The disco of despair.
Disco number about it. It's great.
So that song, it's like he's filming it for a movie that he just came up with.
Yeah, because the character, he's like,
we're gonna put in a song, to fix the movie. So they do this long dance song sequence with like different portions and different references. There is a reference to Sid Charisse in with the scarf. Oh no, was that in the 70s?
That's the first part.
That was but I remember that was in it.
That was the love song. But there's like we watch him through all these sequences, and then in the last one is when they cut to like the director like watching it like while it's being like filmed or whatever, and the audience is supposed to think like, oh, we've just moved from whatever to whatever, instead of like how it would actually be shot, which is like a shot. Like there's still some like we're just fudging our way through, like, and then once you get to the place where it's the current time, then you're watching like the filming of it. There was one part, I swear to God, I'll go back. But there was one part where he like, it's right after he finds out she's pregnant and she's married, and he leaves and everything's like sad because he just found out. And he walks through a scene where they're like blowing leaves with fans like onto the set because they're filming this like storm sequence,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
he walks into the rain, and the director's like, "Get out of the shot!" It's so funny. It's such a meta joke about movie making. It's so good. It was like it felt very cartoony almost to some
Yeah.
extent. Some of those that I
Then
really
somehow,
enjoyed.
like at the end, when he's sharing like a last look with his love that he'll never see again, I like care about them.
I
too,
care.
you know?
I
100%.
applauded her.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, she got it.
And I actually was fascinated by the ending because, well, okay, let me play just a piece
Yes.
of the
Your favorite
song,
song within
which
the
is
song.
called Dastan e Om Shanti Om.
दास्तां है ये कि एक था नौजवान जो दिल ही दिल में हसीना का था दीवाना वो हसीना थी कि जिसकी खूबसूरती का दुनिया भर में था मशहूर अफसाना
Is it the story of Om Shanti Om?
Probably. Om Shanti Om, by the way, in Hindu means like peace be with you. Om is like the Hindu prayer, but Om Shanti Om means peace be with you. So the end of the film, I had no idea how this movie was going to end. First of all, I could not have guessed any single plot point of this movie as it was happening. I was shocked at every single turn.
Yeah.
But usually I will say in American, in Western media, people don't die and get reincarnated. That is not a common trope we have. So we get to the end and I wondered if he was going to end up, how they were going to resolve the love story.
Yes.
And it kind of doesn't get resolved. Like
Right.
No,
it is just an avenge story.
Yes.
More than it is a love story. Like he just figures out what happened to Shanti, and then
she like gives her final act of like,
yeah.
we can move on.
She
now.
kills Mike, and then she disappears. And then it wasn't even like, and then he falls in love with Sandy. Like Sandy's
Right.
inconsequential. She's not the same.
Which
It's
you
not
would think,
Shanti.
Shanti.
I think in an American movie, he would have fallen in love with Sandy. He would have
Yes.
found something
Yeah.
in Sandy that was like, oh, you're kind of like Shanti, and they would have ended up together, but they're just like not interested in giving us that resolution.
I was really happy that it still ended up being the true Om and Shanti.
Yeah.
Like at the end.
Yeah. But not even together. They don't end up together because he's still going to continue his life as okay.
No, yes, but like he was able to, like it was still
There was
about,
closure of their story.
It was still
Yeah.
about Shanti, like the
It
original
wasn't like
Shanti.
Sandy came in and replaced Shanti. I think is what
Yes,
Arjun is
yes,
saying.
yeah.
It was
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
still
yeah.
about Om and Shanti. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is always the hardest part. Sometimes for me when we go through like reincarnation stories. I mean, like Wonder Woman. There was like one of the last Wonder Woman movie where it was like Chris Pine's character, like the soul being in someone else's body. Like it's a big ask from audiences, and so
Especially in a culture where that is
that's
not
yeah,
a prevalent concept.
yeah. So it was nice to see
That's
here.
the plot of The Haunted Mansion from 2003 with Eddie Murphy,
Yeah.
which is insane that is what my pull is for reincarnation stories because they happen so infrequently
Yeah.
in Western media.
Yeah.
So it was nice that this like gave a glimpse of like simple rules that you can follow. That like he died the same time this like a baby was born. So like that's where it was. And Shanti did not go into Sandy. So it like played with our expectations that like,
Yeah.
oh, they're the same actress, they're the same, they look, so that must
I
be
got
it. But it
nervous.
wasn't.
Did you guys get nervous? So they're setting up that like it's clear with the baby being born and him dying at the same time. You like kind of see where it's going, and then we're getting this shot of like this guy living in luxury 30 years later, and you hear the monologue of what Om said to his friend about what he would have one day when he was a star, and we're seeing like, you know, a servant gives me my slippers. We're seeing like a shot of like
Yeah.
feet getting slippers and stuff. So you like don't see his face at first, and I was nervous it was going to be a different actor.
I asked that to RJ. I was like, "Do you think
Yeah.
it's the same actor?" And RJ was like, "Yeah, I think it's the same actor." I was like,
it's-
"Okay."
Because I was worried that I was like, are you explaining this really clearly to me? Of like, I want you to understand it's the same guy because it's going to be a different face when you see it.
Ah.
But
I
glad
think it was
it's
more
not
like
the
they
same guy.
wanted
Yeah.
you to remember all of the specifics he wanted in his like dream,
And that he is able
that
to
he
get.
was actually getting them.
Yeah.
And I do think that like is really rewarding that it is the like idea of like he was so good in his past life that he got like an upgrade in his next life. Like
That's
he did
true.
try to he did save her once and then he did try to save her again later, even though obviously it didn't work out. But
And my
He's like
gosh,
being
was he
rewarded.
he's like
trying
a
to
good
save her.
person.
It's hilarious and tragic how many obstacles they put in the way of him trying to save her. So like,
Truly.
he's like trying to break in the window, and there's like goons from the producer that are there to like beat him up on the way there. He finally gets into the thing. They're like reaching for each other. There's an explosion that sends him into a street, and then he's run
And he gets
over.
hit by a car.
And it hit my car. That's the thing.
with the people that are pregnant with the baby.
I guess
She's
they
in
had to do
labor.
the hit. Yeah, I think they had to do the hit by a car part so that he could be at the hospital with the baby
Yes,
being
that it's
born, I
connected
guess.
to the person.
But it's so funny how many ways that it's like, you're like, okay, this is what he's done for it. It just like keeps going.
Yeah.
Because he didn't die in the fire. He got hit by a
Well,
car.
she didn't either. That's the craziest part is you find
Yeah,
out
I
that like
guess.
Mukesh goes back
Mukesh.
later after the fire's like put out, and he finds her body and she's still alive, and then he just buries her alive. It's like an insane reveal. Like this man is like not like, it's one thing to be like, I set this woman ablaze, right? That's already nuts.
Yeah.
And then it's even crazier to be like, I found her alive and then I just
another
if you're going that
example
far,
where,
I
like,
guess go all the way.
in an American film, it would have been different because they make a few references to the fact that no one ever found her body. So I'm waiting for like, she's still alive, right?
She's
like
still
that's
alive,
where I
yes.
think it's going.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, she just died in a worse way than you thought.
Because RJ was like, is it gonna be like Om ends up falling in love with like her, she lived and then had the baby and then he falls in love with the baby. Like he didn't know if that was gonna be the plot. And I was like, oh, I hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phew.
I did wonder how you go once you like know that you are from a different life. Because basically once he realizes that he is original Om, he kind of just only hangs out with his mom and his friend, oh my God, what was his name?
I think.
Papu. He only hangs out with them. He like never sees his dad again, even though his dad is like.
I think there's still like a quick moment where he says something about like his dad. He says something to his dad, but yeah, it does seem weird that he's like, he says to his mom like, I'm not leaving anymore. I'll be here, whatever. And I was like, you have a whole life, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess he's not romantically entwined, we know, because he has many, many women that he spends time with. But it's still like, there must be people in your life that want to see you as you are
RJ,
right now.
I
will turn the floor over to you and these three girls.
Shout out the three girls that are around him the entire time in the second act, because it's so funny. Once the hair, like one is like the makeup person, one is like his stylist, and one is just working out constantly because I think she's supposed to be his trainer. They are so funny because they're fully just a little Greek chorus and just like agree with everything.
They're the Bets from fucking
They are
Beauty and the
absolutely
Beast.
the Bets.
That's what I thought about too. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so funny.
Their reactions are really great. There's so many people. I can't
so many
stress
people
to you
in this
if
movie.
you've
How
never
many
seen a
people there?
Bollywood film, how many fucking people are in this
The
movie.
crowd scenes are crowds. They are.
The crowd scenes are crowds.
They're crowds.
And
they're
to
all
someone who lives in
looking
Mumbai, which is famously like the most dense population on earth, it probably looks like an easy breezy day with like 50 people in one shot. They're like, oh, it's like a little vacation for everybody. Everybody's got room. It's crazy. Was there anything else that I wanted to bring up? I really did like the love sequence. The love sequence. I'll play it right now. But the love sequence was when they do a shot that's in reference to Singing in the Rain, the Sid Charisse scarf moment, which I really was like, oh, what a good pull.
आँखों में तेरी अजब सी अदाएं हैं हो आँखों में तेरी अजब सी अदाएं हैं दिल को बना दे जो पतंग सांसें ये तेरी वो हवाएं हैं.
And then obviously like the chandelier is like an obvious reference to Phantom of the Opera. Like couldn't be more on the
that's interesting.
and the Masquerade.
The Andrew Lloyd Webber connection with Farah.
Oh yeah,
Khan.
even the
So
set of the Om Shanti Om set that gets burned down and then is later reconstructed, it looks very like the Phantom, like the entrance to the opera house.
Yes.
Part.
Yeah, the set design of this movie is like stunning. Like every place felt so specific that I really loved. And when they go back to the studio after it had been like all burned down or whatever, and you can see the facades as they're now burned, but you can like remember from earlier. It's very satisfying to watch because you're like, wow, 30 years did go by crazy.
My favorite sequence in the movie is the end credits because the the crew was able to like get little title cards and entrances.
I love this.
That was so much fun. And I was just like having a great time watching all of them goof off. And I was saying, Adam, like, are they all just in costume, but then filming each other? And then like, okay, sound guys, come on out.
I want to campaign for this to be the credits of every movie. I want everybody to have a moment to like walk down the red carpet and be like, I was the key grip. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was the spot operator.
This is I don't know if she still does it, but this was the second time she'd done it. So in every movie, I think it's like a signature of hers to do a credits, not necessarily the same like walk down of everybody, but a credits like song sequence.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Which is fun.
I love that the editor was like the most like
Also some very attractive people on that creative team. Very
just
attractive
beautiful people in Bollywood.
I was like, oh, okay.
Beautiful people shoot beautiful people. I love that the editor had like a little moment, and I was like, this person had a lot of work to do with the slow motions and the music and everything. So shout out to them. Yeah, I thought it was just, it's a fun time. And even like we didn't watch it in one sitting. These movies, like I'm curious to see like if other masala films feel this way of like, because there is just so much, like you could turn this on and you're still hooked, and like you could watch it, you could still watch it in multiple pieces, and it's not like, oh, what just happened? Like it doesn't matter because you're getting like a super show every time you're watching it, you know?
I feel like we're really campaigning hard to get you guys to watch this movie because I was intimidated to watch it.
Yeah.
And so I know that I would take some convincing, and I hope that we have done a good job of convincing you all that it is worth your time to watch this movie.
And there's even like, I didn't even talk about it, but there's like some actual jump scares in the second half that I was like, I like got shocked by.
Yes.
So she's got, when I say multiple genres, I mean multiple genres are in this movie. It's great.
All of them. All of them.
All of them. Yeah, it's great. Well, is that it? Should we move on?
Wow, we are finally clocking in under the movie time.
I knew we would do it for this one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
मैं ये अब किस-किस को दिल में मेरे है दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दिल में मेरे है दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दिल में मेरे है दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दिल में मेरे है दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को
All right. Well, what have the fish been saying about this movie? The fish being the critics. I found a couple, unfortunately, British publication reviews. I did not find any Indian ones, but they are by, I believe, Indian writers. So The Times UK, Anjil Sinanan, said the film is a humorous homage to all things Bollywood and is stuffed with numerous laugh-out-loud in-jokes, which may get lost on viewers not familiar with the masala formula. But there is still enough savvy to engage newcomers with knowing references to Singing in the Rain, Phantom of the Opera, and Gone with the Wind. I didn't recognize a Gone with the Wind reference other than, I guess, like,
the fire?
The burning?
I think so.
Tara Plantation burning down?
I've never seen Gone with the Wind, so I don't know what the references were.
I saw it when I was very young, so I don't remember a ton of it.
I think it's the burning of the
That's the only thing I can assume.
The like mansion burning, because it feels like a mansion.
Well, it's so funny too. Also, like, that's not how movies are made. You don't create an entire, you don't turn an entire soundstage into one massive place. Like you break it up based on what you need for shots. But the King Khan, which is Shah Rukh Khan's nickname, dominates the proceedings. He is his usual hammy self, but this works beautifully here as it is self-referential. Former model Deepika Padukone, making her Hindi film debut, has strong star quality potential. Pity that her nerdy, likable character Sandy is sidelined in the second half.
I think just by the time Sandy appeared, there's already enough kind of fun side characters that like it was hard to make Sandy, like there was no reason to make Sandy stand out even more because his mom is already there kind of doing a lot of the work.
Yeah. Well, and also like they don't end up together.
That's true.
That's why I was like worried, because I was like, you're kind of not giving her anything to do. And I think they're going to end up together. And then they don't. And I was like, phew. Well, I guess, don't give her anything to do then. It's fine. And then for the BBC, Tajpal Rathore says both an homage to and parody of Bollywood, this cinematic feast delivered straight from the heart of the film industry will have you glued to your seats till the end. Khan is his usual jovial self, while Deepika proves her mettle, which is a great word, by the way. Mettle. Even in her unashamedly restraining role as the damsel in distress. some clever special effects and the sting in the tail at the end should cement the reputation of this novel choice for cinema goers. And then on Letterboxd,
Wow, glowing reviews.
By the way, it had
on
80%
Letterboxd.
on Rotten Tomatoes. On Letterboxd, this has a 4.0 out of 5 stars. And I have some reviews here. Toshita gave it 4.5 stars and said, "You, Marvel's Infinity War is the greatest crossover event in history. Me, Diwangi, bitch."
That definitely is the. Even if I hope you listeners watch the movie, but this sequence is so fun to watch. Even if you're just curious, like, I gotta see what this cameo song is. It's so fun to watch.
It is really fun to watch. I really wish
The
I would.
slow turns.
As someone who technically does for my full-time job reaction videos, I would love watching like an Indian person reacts to this
Every
sequence because
face.
I want them to be like, "Oh my God, they were in blah, 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 blah." Eliza gave it 5 stars and said, "When they said all the hot girls put your hands up and say Om Shanti Om, I put my hands up and said Om Shanti Om." And then Jaya, I'm assuming watched it twice because they left 2 separate reviews, both of 5 stars. One is the way I feel about Om Shanti Om is the way white film bros feel about Fight Club. And then and then La La Land and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood found dead in a ditch. There were a lot of people disparaging Damien Chazelle in these, and I was like, I don't think La La Land does not feel very similar to this, other than the fact that it's a musical. I guess,
It's a
but-
musical, yeah.
Very fun. Who is your MVP, Molly, since you came right off the dome with that incredible
I'm gonna say
summary?
King Khan is my MVP. I think it's
For
a pretty
sure.
obvious pick, but he's doing a great job. I understand why he's so famous, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed every moment of him in this film.
There's like a star quality, obviously, but also like he just puts everything at ease. It feels like no one, you could feel that the actors didn't feel like, I don't know, he just felt comfortable.
There's an
So
extended
comfortable.
sequence where he's like pretend fighting with a tiger. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And I was like actually laughing out loud. He calls the stuffed tiger he's fighting a naughty pussy. And I was like, this is so stupid. It's so stupid. It works so well though.
It's honestly, it's a man after Adam's heart. Just a hot, funny dude doing the stupidest.
There were
bits.
shots in the distraught disco or whatever the fuck it was called where I gasped at what his body looked like because I was like, really? That was there the whole time? This first half of the time? RJ, who's your MVP?
I feel like I did this for Pride and Prejudice too, but I think I'm gonna give it to the director again, Farah Khan. Just because I am
Also, both women directors.
both women directors.
Hey.
So I am so impressed at how lived in and grounded this genre is, and I could only imagine that it's not an easy task. So I credit Farah Khan for writing such a great screenplay and directing it.
I don't know if I agree that it's grounded, but I do agree that it's like a feat.
It feels grounded in the like I am right in this cult. Like I feel like I am transported
In the
in right
world,
away.
yeah.
Yes.
And like, I'm not worried that it's like, there's such like a care. I wasn't ever like, oh, I don't know where this is going or if it's like going to turn out. Like I was
didn't care.
I was like
where-
so like, yeah, it's
just
happening.
take me along for the
Take me
ride.
on the journey.
Yeah.
I was not stressed watching this. It was great.
Yeah.
Which is such a strange thing for me to say. But my MVP, I was gonna take Farah Khan. I will give it to Deepika Padukone. I will technically give it to Bindu, who's in like 10 minutes of this movie.
You can. You're allowed.
I
You're
won't. Deepika was great. I really enjoyed her in this movie. Again, her eyes are the half of her face.
Yes.
Like just huge saucers. And they said specifically like Farah Khan, I think, was like, she has like a specific like kind of vintage Indian beauty that doesn't, and I guess I could kind of see that based on
All the cameos
later, like from a very different kind
that
of
I was like, oh, I see.
features.
I could tell that Deepika is like a younger version of some of these.
And let me
actors.
tell you what, she's still gorgeous. And I was
course.
looking up her other works and I was like, I'd watch all these, girl. Whatever you do, I'd watch. I looked up photos from her wedding that were available because famously
them up.
Indian weddings are like a whole week-long celebration. But she was great. I really did enjoy this. I really hope at least one person will be like, maybe I'll check it out. It's just on Netflix. And my last thing is that at the very beginning of this movie, he's in like a studio where they're shooting this like song sequence, which is again another rotoscoped thing from like an actual historical piece, whatever. And he's in the audience during that song. Do you remember?
Yes.
He's
watching
in the live studio
imagining
audience.
himself on the
Molly,
numbers.
I just a nod would even be great. Okay,
I'm
great.
so sorry. I was thinking about my closer. Yep.
Okay, great. Well, I'll give you time because I'll just mention this. And in it, he's sitting next to this woman who's like kind of annoyed that he's like crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the director. That's her own cameo in this movie. Farah. She gave
okay.
herself a little role, which is fun. Molly, do you have a closer this week?
I have a visually based closer, but I'm going to just believe it'll work.
Great.
Okay.
Everybody has to turn around as they would in their cameo.
Their cameo
bit-
turnaround.
The audio bit will just be the other co-host reacting.
Yes,
Just the laughter.
describing.
Just the laugh.
Just the possible
The
laughter,
description,
maybe.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
does remind me
With no
of
silence.
like
Which is complete
soap opera entrances. That's kind of like the oeuvre it gives.
Yeah.
Also, I would not, by the way, one last thing and then we'll do this. There was
Okay.
like one review that was like, loved how camp this was. And I do not think this was camp.
I think
Probably
only-
because, yeah.
only the scene with the mom when he's talking about dropping his last name. That's the only part that I think was camp.
Yeah. Because that was like so clearly like a send up of like that kind of stock trope
Performance,
writing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But mostly I was like, I think these are just how, whatever. Anyway. RJ, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Om Shanti Om.
I think mine has a little bit of an entrance, I think.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Okay.
He's got an entrance.
Oh,
Okay.
he's leaving the frame.
He
of
left
the camera.
the frame.
everyone.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do
it.
an audio description as it's happening. Om Shanti Om.
Like I was running late and I was like, I hope I
Yeah.
make
He's not
my
sure where he
entrance.
is, and then he goes, "Oh,
Yes.
it's so good to see my friends." Yeah, that
Well,
was great.
so they shot this sequence over while Molly thinks about how she wants to do this. They shot this sequence over like 3 days of shoots, and they had like 6 cameos per day, basically, to get
Wow.
through as many as possible. One person, I don't remember the actor's name, so you'd have to find it online. But the one of the actors that was supposed to be in the sequence, he got caught at the airport trying with drugs, so he got arrested on the way to
Don't bring
the
drugs to
shoot.
the
So he was
airport,
unfortunately
everyone.
Not part.
He was not in the
Yes, I
cameo
don't bring drugs
sequence.
to the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
RJ basically ran in almost very sitcom energy.
Sitcom guest star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where then they look at the camera.
Yeah.
Molly, this is your turn.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay. Molly's turning
Om
around.
Shanti Om.
Yes. She gives a little shoulder nudge, but there's like
little
it's
shoulder
just me.
shimmy.
It's just me, you
Oh,
guys.
me.
It's just me.
Oh, me.
No need to do all of this, but then goes.
on.
I think you should go right into the choreography
yeah.
right after.
Yeah.
No, but I'm a Dane, so I'm just doing the minimum amount of the choreography.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that
Yes.
in during the shoots, they were just supposed to come in and shoot their thing and then go, but they would inevitably stay around. And so
Stay
then
in.
multiple would end up in the other
That's
people's shots
so
Yes.
and stuff, which is like
I
so
love
Because
that.
that's what I was curious about. I was like, oh, could I scope them out? And they, because if you listen,
you end up seeing a ton of them
you
in the
see the
background of
call
shots.
sheet and you're like, oh, Diva's coming today?
Yeah.
I'm staying around.
Right.
Right.
This is literally like what they do, like what Billy Crystal would do for the Oscars, where he'd like put himself in the movies or whatever, and it would just be like all cameos, but it's like its own movie.
Yeah.
It's great. It's amazing.
Cameo the movie, honey.
Okay, here's mine.
Okay, here's Adam. Adam's turning around. Om Shanti Om. Oh, full ham, full jazz hands,
Just,
full shoulder shim.
Performing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Announcing with his body that he's arrived.
Announcing with his body that I am in this movie.
There was no noise, but it was very loud. I'll say that.
It was very loud. It was very loud.
Well, this was a real treat. We were in and out today. Not gonna waste your time this summer. Okay, everybody's on summer break. Spring break. Everybody's
right now,
still
yeah.
on spring break.
Wow.
Our next episode is our Summer Stock Pro Shot
Summer
series.
Stock Pro Shot.
So everybody get excited because Adam
Oh.
is gonna be talking about 9/11, girl. It's time to watch Come From Away.
Oh.
Thank you for listening to Showgays, a Cinema musical podcast. This episode was edited and mixed by Adam Noecker. This has been an Ampliverse production. You can find the Ampliverse on Instagram, Threads, and YouTube at the Ampliverse. Check out our full roster of shows at theampliverse.com. If you'd like to send us your own takes on the movie we just watched, reach out to us via email, and we might just read it aloud on the show. Our email is showgaysmoviemusical@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us wherever you get your podcasts, and please rate, review, and subscribe to help others find the show. And now, as always, the show must go on, so stick around to hear what we'll be watching next episode.
On the northeast tip of North America is a town called Gander.
September 11th, 2001.
Over 200 planes getting diverted.
Even with all the hotels in town, we've got no room.
With thousands of passengers arriving at any minute, the town is asking for help with, well, anything you can do.
We barely know where we are.
Just freaking out. I wish I was home.
Thank you for shopping at Walmart. Would you like to come back to my house for a shower? Hello?
Yes, it's me.
Dad, I'm okay.
We honor what was lost, but we also commemorate what we found.